The room was supposed to be fun. It was an employee-wide event. Food, energy, a break from the day. People were relaxed until the leadership got up to speak. And the message was the budget. Why bonuses weren't bigger this year, why the company had to be careful, why everyone needed to understand the numbers. And I remember sitting there thinking, this is not landing. Not because people didn't care, but because it didn't match reality. It didn't match the energy in the room. You had frontline employees and people doing the work every day at this event. And they were being told the company was struggling financially, while at the same time, they were watching money get spent in ways that made no sense. And in that moment, leadership thought they were being transparent, but the team felt blamed. And something subtle but important happened. Trust didn't grow, it cracked. And here's the part most people miss. That moment will never show up on a spreadsheet, but it changes everything. Welcome to the Kathie Owen Perspective Podcast. My name is Kathie Owen. I am a private consultant and I observe human patterns under pressure inside organizations, especially during high-stakes moments like growth, stress, and transition. And what I see over and over again is this. The real problems inside a business show up in behavior long before they ever show up in the numbers. And today, I want to talk about something most leaders are not looking at, but it's quietly affecting their culture, their performance, and their enterprise value every single day. So something feels off. Most leaders have had that thought. You can't explain it. The numbers might still look fine, but decisions feel slower. Teams feel disconnected. Energy feels heavier. So what do most leaders do? They push harder. More meetings, more structure, more control. But that does not fix it because the issue is not effort. It's what's happening underneath the surface. This happens everywhere. It doesn't matter if you're running a construction company, leading a warehouse, scaling a tech startup, or even preparing to sell your business. This shows up. Different environment, same human behavior. Because when pressure rises, people adapt. They protect themselves. They find workarounds. They create their own systems inside your system. And those hidden systems, they are shaping your business, whether you see them or not. Here's where this becomes a real problem. Most leaders wait for the numbers to change, but numbers are slow. Human behavior is fast. By the time you see turnover, burnout, misperformance, customer complaints, the pattern has already been there for a long time. And it's already costing you. Top talent is walking out. Hiring and retraining expenses, slower execution, lost innovation, a damaged customer experience. And all of that impacts one thing, your enterprise value. Now, here's the part most people underestimate because they think this is so-called soft. It's not. When you bring visibility to these patterns, the returns show up fast. People start thinking again. Teams move faster. You stop losing good employees. Hiring slows down because people stay, and communication becomes real. Execution improves, and that shows up in your numbers. Lower turnover costs, higher productivity, better decision-making, stronger customer experience. This is not a long-term, maybe someday return. This is immediate operational improvement. And if you're preparing to sell your business, this becomes even more important because when these patterns are clean, your business feels stronger to a buyer, not just on paper, in reality. Now, this is important. You can try to find this on your own, but here's the reality. You're inside the system. You're part of the pressure. You're part of the dynamic. And because of that, You can't fully see it clearly, and that's not a flaw. That's just how systems work. This is why I usually start with an assessment or an engagement survey. This is not a surface level survey. It's not performative feedback. It's real, honest insight into what people are actually experiencing. Oftentimes, this is anonymous because that's where the truth lives. And when you combine that with observation, that's when patterns become visible very quickly. So, if you're thinking about scaling your company, selling your business, bringing in private equity, or integrating teams, this becomes even more important because pressure increases. And when pressure increases, patterns amplify. A healthy system scales, a misaligned one fractures, and during integration, two cultures don't merge, they collide, unless someone is paying attention to the human side. And if you're watching this as an employee and you're thinking, this is exactly what I feel every day, you're not wrong, and you're definitely not alone. What you're experiencing is not random. It's a response to the system that you're in, and there is a way to shift it. It just requires visibility at the leadership level. This is the work I do. I observe human patterns under pressure. I identify what's actually happening inside organizations quickly. And I bring visibility to things leaders cannot see from the inside. Because once you see it clearly, you can fix it faster, with less effort, and with a much higher return. If this resonated with you, this is just part one, because in the next episode, I'm going to break down the top 10 patterns that show up inside companies when this is happening, the things you can't see, but you can absolutely feel. So if something in your company feels off, that episode is going to help you start recognizing exactly what's going on. And if you're a leader watching this, here's what I want you to take away. Paying attention to your people is not a nice to have. It is one of the highest returns on investments you can make in your business because everything runs through them. Your performance, your culture, your customers, your valuation. And if you want to go deeper, I wrote a full blog post on this, and inside that post, I break down why this matters, the real cost of ignoring it, and how this impacts your enterprise value. I also included bonus resources for you there. That'll be in the links in the show notes and description below. And my book, Human Patterns Under Pressure, expands on this work even further. You can find all of that linked below this episode. So, if something feels off, that's not a problem, that's access. And the leaders who pay attention to that are the ones who don't just grow their companies, they increase their value. All right, that is your episode today on the Kathie Owen Perspective Podcast. I trust that you found it helpful. If you know someone who could benefit from this, please share it with them, and I will see you in the next episode.